Our final story is told by another Wayfinder graduate who has found her way in her own way. Words that define our successful graduates seem to be determination and personal growth. Please welcome McKayla Olsen.
Okay. I think the story of my life really began when I was 15, February 3rd of 2013 to be exact. My mom owned a hair salon in Waldoboro, Shades of Jade, maybe some of you remember it. And I asked her, can I walk over to Hannaford to buy some lunch? I did buy some lunch that day, and I also bought a pregnancy test. I thought the ladies at the counter were gonna pass out when I asked for one because you had to ask the employees to get them from behind the locked glass back then. I took it the next day and it was positive. I was a freshman in high school at this time. I remember sitting in my bed late that exact same night, typing up a text to my mom. And yeah, you heard that correctly, I texted her. It was a pretty emotional time for myself and my family. A classmate who had recently joined the Wayfinder program reached out to me after I announced my pregnancy. Shortly after that, I left Mondomic Valley High School and I joined the Wayfinder program. Haley, my daughter, was born in October of 2013. She was perfect, and I was so excited to be a mom. Due to circumstances beyond my control, we ended up homeless twice and moved around often for at least 3 years. In those years, I worked many jobs and met with my teacher, Cindy, in my hotel rooms, at libraries, anywhere with Wi-Fi and space for Haley to play. I can confidently say that Cindy Stevenson did some amazing things to make sure that I graduated. We really made it happen. When I turned 18, my partner and I got married and moved to a low-income housing unit in Edgecombe. 1 month after moving in, I found out that I was pregnant again. In 2016, I graduated high school and had my son Jason that December. He was a chubby-cheeked, now 9-pound, snuggly baby boy, and I was so excited for him to meet his sister. Haley was 3 when he was born, and she came to visit us in the hospital shortly after his arrival. She was so excited to be a big sister. She would kiss his little forehead and sing "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star" to him several times daily. And she was extremely eager to help with anything that she could. In 2017, I was able to stay home with my kids, and I took a medical assistant course and started working in women's health later that year. In 2018, we moved back to Union, which was really exciting for me. I really wanted to move back to the area. I looked for a job closer to home and started as a medical assistant at Hope Health right here in Camden. Not long after that, COVID shut down the whole world. I was laid off from my job, and I ended up staying home with the kids as school and daycare were closed at that time. Jason was 2, and Haley was in kindergarten and first grade, which meant that she was going to be attending school remotely. That was also a very new experience for us. I created a small space in Haley's room where she could sit to join class. We went to the dollar store where she picked out fun pencil holders and small decorations to make the space feel more like school. And she did really well. But after several months of not seeing her friends, she was very excited to go back to real school. I also was finding myself eager to get back into healthcare that I was passionate about, and I applied to a medical assistant position at Maine Family Planning. Shortly after starting my new job, my landlord sold the house that we were renting, and we were forced to move within 30 days. We moved in with my mom for the summer while I looked to purchase a home. Being homeless again was a really big fear of mine, and I actually bought the first house I looked at because the housing market was so crazy at that time. I purchased a small 3-bedroom home in Union in August of 2021. I think that goal happened so quickly that I almost forgot to celebrate. I was about to turn 24, and I had just bought my first home. Watching the kids run in, decide which rooms were theirs, and how they were going to decorate them truly felt like 1 million pounds being lifted off my shoulders. After moving in, it felt like my world started to settle, but only for a second. Through all of those years, I struggled intensely with my identity, sensory processing, social interactions, identifying and expressing my emotions, and more. I was able to seek consistent therapy when we moved, and this led to many life-changing discoveries. Oh no. I tried what felt like too many different medications, none that were changing the struggles that I was facing, dealing with what should have been regular daily tasks. I was struggling at work, at home, and generally in life, and I really needed something to change. In early 2022, I was diagnosed with ADHD, complex PTSD, and autism spectrum disorder. Spare me RFK. You can laugh, it's okay. Receiving this diagnosis was so important to me because it helped me identify and change tasks and routines in my life and to accommodate myself. I realized I did not have to struggle. In addition to those diagnoses, I also came to terms with the fact that I am a lesbian. This was definitely something that I've always known, but I struggled with living in my own truth growing up in a conservative household. Later in 2022, my partner and I separated. I focused my time on my kids, my job, and self-growth. Haley is currently in 6th grade and preparing for middle school, and Jason is in 2nd grade. I am still currently employed with Maine Family Planning, and I have found my passion in sexual reproductive health care. I am honored to care for my community, and I'm proud to work for an organization that makes me excited to provide this care every day. Single parenting has been the hardest, yet most courageous thing I have ever done. I am exhausted, but my heart is happy. I am so grateful to my mom and my grandmother for the love and support that they've given me along the way. They say that it takes a village, and I don't know what I would do without mine. And this includes my work family, my girlfriend for navigating the craziness with me for the last 2 years. And I'm proudly raising 2 kind, curious, expressive, and brave kids. They have always been and will always be the reason I wake up every day with the ambition to do better than I did the day before. I think for me, finding my way has really been about discovering who I am and living life as the most authentic version of myself. I'm stepping into my true self, and I'm happy with that. And that's it.